Hello all, welcome to my channel Step by Step. If you want to become web developer and if you have already started without having a proper plan or without having a proper roadmap, you would be stuck in between because you don't know what are the things required in web developer, and also maybe you are learning the things which are not at all required. So having a proper plan and roadmap is very important because without these two things, you would get stuck at one point and you will be mess up with everything. So in this entire session, I will be showing you a complete roadmap so that it will help you and also you can plan accordingly and you can start with your journey. Before going to the roadmap, we should understand we have two categories. We have front-end developer and we have backend developer, and the person who will be studying all the technologies coming under these two technologies is called as full stack developer. So there are some technologies present in front end developer. There are some technologies required to become backend developer, and the person who is going to focus on all the technologies front end as well as backend is called as full stack developer. So before seeing the roadmap, you should understand what is front end and back end and what is full stack. So now you will be having a question: where to start, how to start, and can I do coding? Can I do coding is very important because let me tell you, coding is not for everyone. Let me repeat, coding is not for everyone. This is harsh reality, but this is the fact. You have tried 1,000 times and still you are not able to get the logic. You are not able to build a proper product. Then definitely coding is not for you. Do not think that without coding you cannot do anything. Just believe in yourself. See inside you what different capacity you have. What are the things you can do? Because if you get stuck at coding, you will be going around. But if you want to do something in coding, you want to do something in IT field, you want to make your own startup, you want to work as a freelancer, then definitely you can learn coding. You have to give your 100%, you have to give all the time, then only get into coding. But even after that, if you're not getting the desired result, just focus on the other areas in which you can improve. Okay, everybody has different capacity and everybody cannot learn everything. Okay, so just don't stuck in coding. This question you have to answer to yourself: can I do coding? Once you have this answer, where to start and how to start, I will be showing you in this session. Then next comes why coding. Why you want to learn coding? Only for fun? You have built some project, you want to show it to your friends and family. Only for fun if you want to learn, then you can do coding. If you're having some placement in your college and in that they will be asking coding questions, for that if you want to learn, then you can learn coding. For interview preparation, also you can learn coding, or simply if you want to develop your skill so that you get good jobs in IT field, then you can learn coding. So after understanding can I do coding, you have to jump into why coding, and there are different areas why you want to learn coding. So accordingly, you can choose your field and you can plan accordingly. Whatever plan you are going to make, this is the roadmap you have to follow to become either front end, back end, or full stack developer. So, in this entire session, our destination will be to see the roadmap of full stack developer. So, let us get started. First, we have to understand internet. Before learning any technologies, before learning any programming language, we have to understand internet. Just learn different browsers, understand different browser, see how it works. We have Chrome, we have Microsoft Edge, we have multiple browser. So in whichever you are comfortable, whichever you are using for a very long time, you can choose that browser and you can keep it for yourself so that whenever you write the code, you can see the result in that browser. So later on, when you start developing real world project, then accordingly in different browser, you can do the testing. So you should know how browsers work. Then understand how internet works. We have multiple protocols. We have HTTP, HTTPS, how the data is sent to server, how the data is called from the server. You have to understand basic concept, and you should know how internet works and how we are getting the required result from the internet. And most important thing, you should understand domain name system. Domain name system is nothing but it is like a phone book of internet. Suppose you are having a mobile, and if your friend wants to call you without number, without your mobile number, your friend cannot call you. Similar way, your friend has created one website and you have no idea what that website is called. So you will be asking your friend, what is the name of the website? For what purpose website is created? Your friend will be sending the name of the website. Maybe he created website for product, so he will be sending name of that website, using which you can locate that website in Google or search engine. So domain name system is very important. You have to understand what is domain name system, how internet works, and what are different browsers and how different browsers work. This is the first step to get into the field of full stack developer. Then coming to front end developer, what front end developer will be doing? They will be building the things which user can see. Suppose if you are visiting Amazon website, whatever you can see from your eyes, that work is done by front end developer. Basically, it will be look of the website, what you can see, what look website is having. So that work is done by front end developer. If you open a website, you will be having lot of forms, buttons, images, where they are placed, what is the position of those elements, what will be the size, where this input field should be located. All that work is done by front end developer. So to become front end developer, first technology you have to learn is HTML. What HTML will be doing? It is going to give structure to our website. Now if you are constructing home, you have hall, you have room, you have garden, you have kitchen, you have so many things. You are just going to plan on paper. That is called structure. And accordingly, building the home is giving structure. Similar way, structure can be given to a website using HTML. And it is not any programming language. It is the language of web. That is markup language. Using HTML, you can just write the proper structure one by one, heading, text, images. So one by one, the content will be displayed. Then next comes CSS. Now CSS is styling of website, that is painting our walls, decorating our home. So this is done by CSS. So once I have given the structure, heading, paragraph, text, buttons and everything, using CSS, what I can do, I can give colors and I can tell on what position or on which position this element should be placed, whether it should be side by side, whether it should be top, bottom, whatever it is. Using CSS, I can give all the stylings. Then next comes JavaScript. It will be working on behavior of website. Now after constructing our home, most important thing is electricity, or let me be water tap, on which position I have to turn so that water will come, and on which position I have to turn, accordingly the water will stop. So that behavior is done by JavaScript. If I on the switch, light will be on. If I off the switch, light will be off. So that kind of behavior is done by JavaScript. Now in website, if I click on the button, the pop-up should come up. If I click on the button, whatever data I am having that has to be sent somewhere, that somewhere we are going to see later. So all the behavior, we are having multiple examples. If I take an example of car, using brake, I can stop the car. So basically, JavaScript will be working on behavior of website. So these are the three fundamental languages you have to learn to become front-end developer. HTML. Without HTML, you cannot structure any website. HTML is a must, you have to learn. Then comes CSS and then comes JavaScript. Once you are good with all these three languages, you do not have to learn complete 100%. Once you understood all the concept, and if you think that yes, I am ready to make any website, I am ready to build on project, Then start building projects. Projects are very important so that you can develop your skills, and whatever concept you have learned, you can apply in this projects. So these are some of the projects which I have listed. You can make using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. You can make your own portfolio website, weather app, expense tracker, website clones you can make, whichever website you like. Suppose you like Twitter, Facebook, you can copy the same design, same color, same structure, and you can create website clones. You can create e-commerce website using all those three technologies. You can create simple quiz application, and also you can create recipe application, that is recipe website. So these are the simple projects you can make only using front-end technologies. Once you are ready with the project, then learn CSS framework. CSS framework, we are having multiple, but I have listed here Bootstrap, we have Materialize, and we have Bulma. So framework, what they will be doing? They will be having all predefined code inside them. So what you should do, you just have to copy the code, you can paste in your website, and accordingly, based on your requirement, you have to change the code. I would suggest you can go with Bootstrap, but if you have already learned Bootstrap and if you want to explore different frameworks, then you can go with Materialize or Bulma. Choose any one, don't learn all the things. If you have already learned Bootstrap, leave it, you don't have to go. But if you want to explore and expand your knowledge, then you can go with all these three. Then coming to JSS framework, we have React, Angular and Vue.js. React is definitely called as library, but because of its lot of functionalities and everything, it is called as React framework. So you can choose any one of the framework. Using this framework, we can create SPA website, which stands for single page application website. I started with React and I am still working on React and learning lot of things in React. Choosing technology should be of your choice. If you want to create single page applications, choosing any technology, any framework, it should be of your choice. What best I can suggest you is one day, take one day, understand about Angular, understand about Vue.js, and later understand about React. One day for each framework, then accordingly you can decide which technology you have to prefer. So CSS framework, I suggest Bootstrap. JS framework, I suggest React. But you can still go with Angular or Vue.js. These are front-end frameworks using which you can create single page applications. Using this, you can create amazing websites. Once you have learned this framework, then again work on these projects. What projects you have to build? You have to build the same project which you have constructed using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. But now you should be using frameworks, and same result you have to get. Only then you will understand from those three technologies what are the things you removed and what are the things you added to get the different result. Building same project using different technologies you have learned will help you a lot. So same project build now using Bootstrap and React and use all these three technologies. Together you have to build all these projects again. Once you have learned everything, now next is learning Git. Git is nothing but it is a version control system that will keep track of all the code which you have written. Now once you have created lot of project, now if you want to store somewhere, if you want to show it to the world, then what you can do, you can learn Git. This Git will be keeping track of all the changes whatever you have done, and also it will be providing the history previously what you have done. And if you want to collaborate with other people, your friends, to work on the project, then also you have to learn Git. Now suppose you are working on big project, big website you have created, all the projects you are created, and suddenly you have deleted some lines of code and you did not recognize that it's been deleted. But later next day when you come and see the website, you will not be getting proper result. Again you have to see the entire code, you have to see line by line where you have gone wrong, so many things you have to check. But if you are using it and you have already committed those changes, if you have already saved those changes, accordingly, you can go to the previous version and you can get the result. So learning Git is very important when you want to become front-end or back-end developer. Okay, once you learn the Git, once you have all the commands, then you should be understanding about Git repo hosting service. It is nothing but in this hosting services, we can keep our content. We cannot keep entire content in our system. So what we can do, we can keep the content inside this repo hosting services and they will be providing the link using which we can show our work to other people. So we are having GitHub, we have GitLab and we have Bitbucket. I would suggest go with GitHub, but you can also choose GitLab or Bitbucket. These three are hosting services. They will be managing our repositories and they will be keeping all the content inside those repositories. Now, once you have learned all the technologies, whichever I have mentioned you, most important thing is reviewing, practicing and coding, building up your skills. Once you are ready and according to your plan, if you want to become front-end developer and if you want to get a job, then learning these technologies and improving every day is important. But your plan is to become back-end developer as well, then this is how you can go. Back-end developer works on the things which user will be interacting. Now, when user clicks on the button, if they have filled some data, how the data should be processed, where that data will be stored, and later when user requests that data, from where the user has to get that data. Basically, they will be working on entire backend thing. Whatever process, whatever is going on behind, we cannot see this one. So this is the work of backend developer. They will be working on feel of the website, how user will feel, how when user is getting the required result, how they are going to feel. Basically, this work is done by backend developer. To become backend developer, first you have to understand APIs, how APIs work. Using APIs, how you can get data from different servers. You have to understand this. You have to understand network protocols. We have many protocols. We have HTTP, HTTPS, we have FTP. We have so many protocols. You have to understand that one. And also you can understand about OSI model. You can understand about servers, databases. Okay, I'm not telling you to learn these things. I am just telling you to understand how this works. You don't have to start writing the code for this one. Just understand how they work behind. Then you can go with all these programming languages. You can learn any one of the programming language. If you have already started with JavaScript, then you can easily select Node.js. Node.js is nothing but it is a runtime of JavaScript. So using Node.js, we can use JavaScript in backend. So the advantage of learning JavaScript is you can use that language as a backend language as well by learning Node.js. Or else you can go with PHP. PHP is an old language, but still many websites uses PHP. We have Java and we have this Python. According to your plan, you can choose any one of the backend programming language. But if you are a complete beginner and you just want to learn backend programming only for fun, then you can go with PHP. PHP is very easy to learn and using PHP also you can build lot of things. Or else you can go with Python if you want to work on IT field, go with Python, go with Java or go with Node.js. Then after that, you have to learn the frameworks. We have Express, we have Django, we have Spring, and also we have Ruby on Rails. Ruby is also a backend programming language. If you want to learn Express, then this has to be your programming language. If you have learned JavaScript, Node.js, then you can go with Express. Then Django is the framework for Python. Then Spring, it is the framework for Java. We have Ruby on Rails, it is the framework for Ruby. So accordingly, whichever programming languages you have learned, accordingly you can select framework. Okay, you do not have to learn entire thing. Just make a point of this. You do not have to learn whatever plan you are going to make. It should be in the straight line. If you are learning JavaScript, then go with Node.js, then go with Express. If you're learning JavaScript, then also you can go with Python, and then you can go with Django. Directly, you're learning Python and you're learning Spring and then you're learning Ruby on Rails, you will mess up your mind. And finally, you will end up with zero result. So just make a plan in such a way, everything should be on a single line. Then you have to understand about databases. We have multiple databases. We have MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, and Redis. So these databases also see for which programming language best database can be used. And we have relational DB and non-relational DB. Relational DB is entire data will be stored in structured format. But in non-relational, data will not be stored in structured format. It will be stored in key value pairs. It will be having different structure. So accordingly, based on the programming language, you have to focus on the correct database and you have to select that database, and that database you have to use in your projects. MySQL is the best combination with PHP, and MongoDB is the best combination with React, with JavaScript, Node.js. If you have heard about MERN stack, so in MERN, Mongo, Express, React, and Node.js. So these four are the best combination to build one complete web application, both front end and back end. Then building the projects. Again, what projects you have to build? You have to build the same project, but this time you have to add some things which will be using backend technologies. You can either add the forms, you can store some data in the databases, and when user is clicking on the button, they can get the data. You can use APIs, e-commerce website, you can use multiple cards. That card data you can store, ordering, placing the order, payment details, everything. Backend concept is huge and you can use in almost all the project. So whatever data you want to store in the database, data will be stored in servers. From database, you will get the data. So whatever it is, you can add simple backend technology inside these projects and you can develop your skills. So whatever projects you have built using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, same project build using the framework React or Bootstrap, and same projects using the technology which you have learned backend language. Using that language, build all these projects and implement the idea behind that. So multiple times, if you're working on same project, then you will be having lots of idea, and once you are familiar with that, and in every project there will be similar kind of recipe, similar kind of pattern which you can follow in other projects. And finally, you should be very disciplined in learning coding. You should not leave gap in between. At least half an hour or 1 hour. Take every day, learn coding, because if you leave coding for a very long time, then entire thing, whatever you have learned, you might forget. So do not leave any gaps. Take time, take half an hour, take 1 hour, practice whatever you have learned, revise whatever you have learned. Only then you will learn coding. Take break. So you do not have to continuously code. Take break in between. If you're not getting any concept in mind, leave it. Don't force your mind to understand, leave it. Watch few more videos, understand that one concept. Until and unless you are comfortable with that concept, do not move with other concept. Because in programming languages, everything is interrelated. So if you miss one, maybe same concept is applied in bigger project and you will not able to cope with that concept. So understand, take break. You do not have to rush yourself. Take break and learn. And then review code. After doing all the project, review the code, practice the code, see where you have gone wrong, see what you can improve in that. Do all these things to become a best developer. And finally, keep coding. Don't quit in between. Later, you should not regret quitting that. Practice, practice, and practice. You have to practice until you get the result. If you have made a plan, if you want to become front end, back end developer, then you should keep coding. Okay, don't leave the gaps in between. You can leave a gap 1 or 2 days, but not more than that. Practice, keep coding, make simple projects. If you're making a simple project, same code, write 2 to 3 times later on when somebody is asking you or when you want to do again, then you should be capable enough to build that project without seeing anywhere or without referring any website. But if you are stuck, then also no problem. You can still refer the code. You can still watch YouTube videos. You can take help of Google. You can take help of ChatGPT. You can refer lot of resources. And from where you can start all this, you can refer the documentations of those programming languages. You can watch YouTube videos. You can take courses on Udemy. And also you can take help of ChatGPT. Google, you will be getting lot of resources. Accordingly, whichever instructor you feel that is best, take the course of them because you will be very comfortable and you will learn lot of things from them. So all the best. If you have already planned and if you want to become a web developer, then I will also be helping you in every roadmap and I will be providing you the best resources to learn from this channel. So next session I will be starting complete roadmap on every subject which I showed you in this entire session. I will be showing you in HTML what are the things you have to learn. Definitely, you don't have to learn entire thing and all the things in every language because every day even we are learning, we are improving because even I don't know entire thing. Every day I keep practicing. We cannot remember the things. Every day we have to learn and we have to understand. So I will be showing you roadmaps on every subject, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, React, every roadmap I will be showing you so that you will be having an idea where you have to go next and what are the things you have to learn. That's all for this session. If you gain some knowledge by watching this entire session, then you can support me and also you can share this video with your friends who wants to become front-end or back-end developer. That's all for this session. Thank you so much for watching this.